Hello guys, remember me? I'm Orbiter, your Welsh engineer, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Korea Part 4. I can't hear a thing. Kerbals don't have ears, so they don't hear anything. We'll get into that, but that's later in the episode. Right, I suppose you wonder what the hell I'm doing. Well, if you look in the right top corner, we have a fly-by the man contract, and that is to get science. Oh, by the way, you have to forgive my voice, I've got a cold again. Why does this keep on happening to me? Well, I suppose it's to do with being crammed in a small place with a load of people working, so, bugger that. Anyway, what we're doing here is we're going to do a fly-by the man, and yes, you can see also we've still got the TR-18A stack decoupler contract to go and do. We'll have to do that later on in the episode. I realised I won't be able to do it with this because we'll be launching too fast, and the return from an orbit such as from the man will be too fast as well to test that out. So we'll have to do that in another mission. Anyway, now that we're in space, I have to mention that we have upgraded the tracking station, so we get patch conics, so it'll show us if we get an intercept with the man, but we still can't make maneuver nodes and other such things. But I'm going to give this a try. So here we are, trying to get into orbit. I'm always a bit unsure on trying to get into orbit with maneuver nodes. I'm so used to using maneuver nodes, you can see in most of my videos that I've become, dependent on them. I suppose this will force me on how to do it without maneuver nodes. And I forget things like, when I'm trying to get into orbit by here, do I have to have the rocket pointing up or down as we're descending? But because I didn't know that, I finally get into orbit, but it's a bit more of an eccentric orbit, and I don't know what happened here. I lost my mind. No, I didn't. I wasn't thinking properly. Could be a compilation of the cold and Kerbal's not flying properly. Anyway, once we're in orbit, as per usual, burn prograde as the man comes over the horizon. I thought that would work. It makes sense, it worked, but I think because we're in a highly eccentric orbit, it didn't work. We didn't get the intercept. Damn it, and you can see from here as we're coming towards the man, we're gonna miss it. Damn, I'm blasted. Another failed mission. However, we do know that we can get up here with the rocket we've got. So let's do some science, which is in fact no good because we've already done science at high orbit, and return. This is not good start, but however, can we do the TR-18A stacked decoupler? I have to do a rocket flip here by reducing the orbit speed. Obviously not. No way, we've got to reduce that speed in time. But anyway, you know the story with this. Jebediah is going to survive. He's going to get back, return, and do this mission again. Because that is the Kerbal way, isn't it? If you don't succeed first time, try again. So here we are again. This time, we've got Mech Jeb. Awesome stuff. I don't know, did I show you that? Did I show you unlocking that part? Anyway, we're going to get into orbit. This time, we're going to do a bit more sensible. With this, I decided to launch up with less of an angle for the launch, so you can see the speed, orbit speed there. We're at 600 meters per second, so there's a lot of delta V we have to do to get into orbit. This type of orbit I've done lots of times. This was sort of like the standard before the atmosphere was changing, Kerbal Space Program version 1, and it worked quite well. So yeah, I'm going to go back to this. And it's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. But anyway, what else have I to talk about? I don't know. Sometimes I try to think of things to say and things to talk about. That's why in Kerbal Quest I'm asking questions and answering comments and and adding Kerbal names so I can kill you later on. No, not really. That's just a bit of fun, and it does give me something to talk about. The reason that I'm not good at talking at the moment is because I've got a cold, I suppose. But anyway, colds aside, but Kerbal orbits in hand. And yeah, you can see we've got a perfect good orbit. That's quite good, actually. I'll have to remember how I done that and how to work around high eccentrically orbited launches. But anyway, it's on to the man. We've got a contract to fulfill and a burp to get rid of. Now, a little tip which I have noticed from past experiences with playing or going to the man when I use a maneuver note, I noticed that the maneuver note is just before the man comes over the horizon. So perhaps that's when you're best to do your maneuvers. So if you look here, we have an intercept. And this contract is a fly by the man. And the plan is to head in front of the man. Now, if you know about the Apollo missions, and it looks like I've overburned by it. If you know about the Apollo missions, what you would do is you would burn, you would get your orbit to pass in front of the moon, so the gravity of the moon will slow you down, and then you'd come back around. That would reduce your orbit speed in relation to curbing. That would, reduce the energy you have. Potential energy, I think, is what they refer it to. And you'd come back down to Kirby at a lower altitude and be able to return. It's called a free return trajectory. That means you don't have to do burns to get back. But however, problems have happened. I'm not sure if the game actually, miscalculates your burns until you upgrade the tracking station. It's quite interesting if it does, because it means you have to learn a bit more. It would be awesome if, you have errors, but the more you play the game, the more the errors would be worked out and in your favour. Because look, we're passing on the other side of the man. And if I turn the camera around, we've boosted our periapsis from Kirby. We've boosted our orbit around Kirby itself, which is not good. However, we can correct that, so we have no worries. Right now, though, we've got science to do and a contract to fulfill. So let's observe the materials bit. Yes, 20 science. Crew report. 10 science, let's transmit that back. And where else have we got? Ooh, we're out of electricity, so better enable it. That's a good trick as well. If you worry that you run out of power, always set one of the batteries, if you attach a battery, to disable it, so it keeps the charge of that battery. It's an awesome tip I learned from Scott Manley. None other than Scott Manley himself. Okay, so let's work out how do we reduce the orbit around Kerbin so we get a return into the atmosphere. Because if we can get into the atmosphere of Kerbin, that means we can reduce the speed and reduce the orbit and get back land on Kerbin, a free landing without having to burn an engine. So burning prograde doesn't work, retrograde, let's do prograde. But you would have thought that burning retrograde would reduce the orbit. But burning prograde would do the opposite, high the orbit. But what is actually happening here is we're burning the opposite direction that the man is orbiting around Kerbin. Therefore, we're reducing the orbit around Kerbin, but we're still getting a boost from the man getting into a higher orbit. As you can see by there. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing because we've got the patch conics, the way that the orbits are drawn. But I think you get my meaning, I hope anyway. Anyway, let's reduce our orbit, because if we go to the periapsis and you burn there, I didn't realise it at the time when we were around the man. If I'd done that, it would have used a lot less fuel and saved a lot of time. But mistakes are here to be learnt, so we can do them again. As long as the Kerbal survive, I think I'll be happy. Out of power. Luckily, we have the other battery, which I disabled. Ooh, we're in the atmosphere. Okay, let's detach and re-enter. And because we don't have any music in the background, I can squish the video and make it go faster. So making the re-entry heating, or aero braking as it's known as. This is an awesome technique that I tried to use this on Jewel in Kerbal Quest to hilarious effect. That's because the center mass wasn't in the right place. Yes, someone pointed it out. Human Veos pointed it out to me. Anyway, Jebediah returns and he survives. Jebediah returns a hero. He has completed the contract of getting science from the man. Oh yes, and you remember I said there's no sound? Yes, here it is. My recording software bugged up. And by the way, this is a mission, and I got a sound effect here. That's not in the game, that's actually me adding it after. But yeah, Valentina Kerman has completed the TR-18A stack decoupler quest mod thingy contract. And she doesn't survive to tell the tale. Anyway, I'm gonna add some music in here because otherwise it's gonna be really quiet. Right, now we have a plane, jet, and I've got a contract to go and observe temperatures at these locations. As you can see, they're all below 1700 kilometers, so I thought it'll be easy. I'll launch a plane and go over there. It's a bit too far, so what I've decided to do, we'll launch this. Our first attempt at a shuttle. Oh, sort of. A sort of like shuttle boost. By the way, this music is from Technoaxe, Massive Spacewalk. So if you enjoy it, that's who it's from. Okay, first attempt didn't go that well. By the way, I'm just cutting these videos short because we haven't got any sounds on the game, and it was really hard trying to edit this without any sounds. So running out of fuel, Jebediah decides to ditch it on land here. We're almost there, but we have to go back to the drawing board, redesign our spacecraft, and try again. What did I change in here? Oh yes, the solid rocket boosters. I couldn't think then. And the part limit from the VAB, we couldn't add any stress to it, so we were getting out of control like this. Rocket flips, awesome stuff. Jebediah keeping control though, keeping his nerve, not letting the aerodynamics of the game defeat him. Sorry, evil laugh there. But anyway, this looks quite good. This shuttle was quite a shuttle. I call it a shuttle. It's actually a jet. This jet was quite stable, actually flying, and I was quite proud of this. It went all the way around. We were halfway across the ocean after the pre-launch of the shuttle, of the shuttle stroke jet, over then to land, and then back to the sea where we're supposed to do the temperature checks. And it said we were entering the area, so I decided, yes, do it. Do the science, transmit back, but nothing. No confirmation or anything. See, we're over the area. Again, try it. Perhaps I have to store it, then transmit it. No, it's not working. I could not, for the life of me, work out what was going on there. Bulls. Anyway, Jebediah. Well, convinced that we have failed. And yes, we were convinced that I had failed. We decided to go back to base, find out the contract. Perhaps it was something we missed. And if you look at the bottom one, it says above 1700 meters, not below. I thought they were all below. Anyway, that's my failure. I'm more beta. Trust me, I'm an engineer who can't read. See you in the next episode.